Hello, everyone. Want some candy? Um, Happy June, happy Pride Month. This has been a tradition on this channel, and by tradition, I mean I've made one other video, maybe two, about being a LGBTQ princess in the world of judgment and hierarchy, even though as a community we're supposed to accept and love everybody equally. That obviously doesn't happen. So I wanted to talk a little bit about body image and the aesthetic culture that we live in, and how personally it's been a struggle in terms of connecting with people within the community. And maybe you're a bit frustrated with this also. So I have a couple points written down. I'm just gonna run through them. These are all off the cusp, so it won't be very organized, but it will at least be true and authentic, which is the point of self-expression, what I'm trying to emphasize these days. And I guess I'll start with the dating apps, how difficult it is to meet people in person because we're all afraid to approach and be rejected. People are very sensitive to rejection these days. And I am dealing a little bit with the fitness culture of what it is to be a gay man today, and how we're expected to change these things about our appearance in order to get people to like us more, to value us more. How do we define value? Well, somebody who you're attracted to, or somebody social value, someone who has the connections, the pass to the VIP section, the bottle service, your crew of kiki honeys and homies and non-gender conforming people. um, it's a bit difficult, especially someone who's trying to get in shape right now. And, why is that important? Because I want guys to think I'm more attractive. Okay, and that's the truth. And I think that that's the truth of a lot of people who go on their fitness journey. They want to appear aesthetically more pleasing. Okay, whatever that means, because we've defined this culture, this bro culture of everybody looks the same, and it's on Grindr. There's a bunch of faceless torsos and yada yada. You've heard the stand-up routine before. I wanted to talk a bit about presentation when it comes to being interested authentically in people, and maybe offer some words of advice in that these people don't matter in the end. The people who you're vying for the attention of, even if they're within the same community as you, that doesn't mean that they are on your side. And what I mean by that is, it doesn't mean that these people are willing to see you as an individual who has a purpose, who has dreams and interests, and want to talk about that. We live in the most disconnected age in the history of time, because everything is compartmentalized into different windows of representation, be that social media, be that our own personal lives, be that our work lives, our family lives, friends. Everything is fragmented, and so it's easy to fall into a sense of loneliness, which is where I'm at right now, and I find it very difficult to connect with people. And yeah, let me brag about all my friends. I have great social connects. I have hobbies. I am doing better mentally than I have been in a very long time. And I owe that to discipline. But discipline comes with a cost, in that you start to realize the things that were working for you previously are no longer working for you. And going out to a club and getting drunk and meeting random people is not satisfying to me anymore, because I'm not 21 and it's old news, and those friendships rarely last or blossom into something that is you know fruitful. And I think that, especially now as a gay man, I am going through this weird transition period of, who am I doing this for? Who am I working out for? Who am I doing my skincare for? Why am I going to get haircuts? Obviously, the self, whatever, go, we're number one. I'm number one. Like, no, that's not what pride is about. Pride is about being able to bring together people and how we differ in perspective, and discuss and align in our willingness to engage and our willingness to have intellectual discussions. Intelligence is another thing. Like, I don't think many people emphasize intelligence in the gay community as much as they do having a hot bod. Like, you don't go to LGBT book clubs and you're discussing, Philip Roth or whatever. You're going to pride parades and you're taking off your shirt and you're showing how much work you've done in the gym, or how much you're dieting, how great your dieting is going. It's been very difficult as an individual to lose weight or maintain a specific amount of weight because I don't want to develop an eating disorder. And I, unfortunately, and I bet you a lot of people in the gay community relate to this, is there are certain foods that we say are no-nos, but we're drinking 8 beers at the beach party, and that's fine. We're swapping beers for tequila soda. We are going off bread. We are skipping the third piece of pizza because this person's not gonna like me anymore if they can't see my defined, you know, abs. It's such a sick kind of mindset to get into, to be like, well, I have to adjust these things about me because I'm not going to fit in anymore, or I'm going to be overlooked and feel lonely. And I guess the reason that I'm making this video, the loneliness of Pride Month, is that I don't like parades. I don't like going to parades. I am in solitary being, and most of my thinking happens when I'm alone. And I think that there are others out there just like me who are sort of skeptical of this environment of acceptance and freedom and liberation. And yet at the same time, it's like, well, I can't do this because I need these people to like me, or I need to fall into a very distinct category of representation, because if I deviate outside of this, whatever mask bro gym culture or femme twink bottom culture, that I'm going to somehow be overlooked again, there's the word, and passed by and feel isolated. And making these videos is a way for me to try to connect with people out there. I don't know if anybody's watching them, but it's something to do, rather than think about, well, how am I not fitting in? What things about myself can I change? And I think that there is so much value in giving up the skincare routine for other people. Who's going to love me if I have imperfect skin? Or who's going to love me if I'm unshaven? Or whatever. And then the comparison game comes into effect, because you're like, oh, well, these people seem so much happier than me, and they're probably having a lot more sex than I am, and they're able to eat whatever the fuck they want because they're huge, and they have great genetics and great discipline too, because I'm not knocking the gym, whatever culture, lifestyle of exercising. That's great. I'm glad that there are people who find pride in how they excel at those things. We have hierarchy, and that sucks on some level, but it's also, people get recognized for the hard work that they put in. So I want to recognize that there are more important things in life than fitting into a mold and trying to be like everybody else, because I am sick of going on my phone and downloading Grinder and then deleting it because, oh no, these people who, I don't think I'm ugly, but I reach out to people and I'm like, well, maybe this person could be willing to connect with the heart inside. And it's like, no, of course not. Why would they? That's not an environment where it's facilitated where people want to connect to the heart. I have rarely developed conversation with people. And you know who those people are? They're the people who aren't very attractive. Okay? Because those people need to have substance. I just dropped my phone. Those people need to have substance. And that's something that you learn, whether you've gone through a phase where you're unattractive, or you compare yourself to how much better everybody else looks to you. You know what it's like. You know what it's like to feel like you need to have a personality. For Pride Month, I have been wanting to emphasize my hobbies and the person inside, But I fall into the trap and vices of wanting attention from people. Hello. Everybody who makes a video and puts it online, everybody who posts a fucking picture wants attention from people. And you can say, oh, I don't need that shit. I love myself, blah, blah, blah. Okay, honey, try donating to charity and not telling people about it, or picking up trash when nobody's looking. Have you done that before? Invisible viewer. Um, I am frustrated with the state of current affairs in the gay community, and it sucks to be a critic of it, but also be pouring into the habitual nonsense that is fitness culture, that is trying to find the right combination of things that is going to find me a partner, or sex that is meaningless. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. So I am on your side, the person who is critical of this culture. You know what? Probably these perfect bodies, these perfect faces, a lot of them are probably sick of it too. I've read countless Reddit comments that are like, I am tired of going to the gym 4 or 5 days a week for an hour and a half, and I am miserable with the amount of time I am neglecting my own inner child. So be an older sibling to your inner child, be a parent to your inner child, and say, you know what, I like to read fantasy novels, and I'm going to do that instead of trying to facilitate artificial relationships with people that ultimately don't matter in the end. Yeah, that's what I got.